right.
This is something.
I think we're live.
Okay. Sorry, this is going to a dealership. They do not take action.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It is Thursday. It is. I still want to say dispatching live sometimes, but it's industry logistics, because dispatching is like nobody wants to talk about dispatching.
No.
They actually don't even want to talk about logistics.
Well, yeah.
Which is ironic as heck because, oh my gosh, the number of podcasts, like, I don't know if you can call them episodes or rants or, I don't know, because I don't even listen to them, but there are so many fraud podcast things out there. And there's like fraud on stage, fraud on podcast, fraud, we're going to bust in your bedroom and talk about fraud. It's wild. So we're probably not going to talk much about fraud today. I mean, I'm pretty sure the rest of the industry's got it covered. Actually, that's the funny thing. I don't think they actually do. They just are, they're trying. They're trying to catch up. I feel like we're setting a pretty low bar. At least we're setting a bar, because I think just most companies they're not really doing anything. I don't know what they're doing. But we still have major excitement leading up to the Dealer Vegas Circus prize fight, which is funny because there was a LinkedIn post of like a extreme fighting cage.
Yeah.
Like, will there be extreme fighting at NADA? Yeah, probably. Why not? Is this Mar-a-Lago or NADA? Or both? Yeah, I know. You got golf, lobster, awards, and nap time. That's what you got. Carrier's got lots full of snow.
Ain't that the truth?
And slip and falls on the freeway.
Yeah. Did you get any up there?
Well, yes, but not like Texas. Right? Texas got
smashed pretty good.
Well, it was spotty in different areas. But the ice, I mean, I think that Texas really got the ice.
They did, and so did Arkansas. It ran.
Oh, yeah.
And then it went into Tennessee. Like, Nashville still's got thousands of people without power from it.
But, don't interrupt the NADA party. Come on. Jeez. You got the Carrier. I saw this. I'm like, this is, yeah. The Carrier's got all these alerts now, and DEI, and oh, that's not DEI. But meanwhile, at the party, I haven't seen any more AirPods ads.
Since you said that.
I don't know if it's coincidence. I try not to take credit for everything. I let the president do that. I did share this because it is silly. The amount, by the way, your video went away, but you probably know that. It is silly. The amount of, like, really, really silly LinkedIn post videos about, like, come by our booth and let's crush it together. And it's just really obnoxious. But I know it's not going to change, because I still see people congratulating each other for, like, living another year. Oh, what an amazing, you're most amazing human being for living another year. It's just, oh my God. Children. Wow. Meanwhile, the driver's trying not to crash into the Nashville sign, and you're, all hopped up on caviar and caviar. I almost said caviar like I do when I'm in the British country. Or, just trying to stay alive while unloading a van is kind of a Carrier thing.
Put it in park and begin to, oh my.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know, I hadn't heard about it. But we do see this quite a bit, that they don't put it in the park. That's crazy.
Yeah, poor guy. Well, you gotta imagine, right? How many days on the job?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not I'm not trying to cause a fight. But again, when you put everybody out of business by lowballing them, you're going to get a bunch of noobs, and one of them's going to get crushed while unloading a van.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It sucks.
It does.
And you know what? You imagine what was going through his mind as the Dodge Caravan was not fully in park and began to roll backwards, and he's trying to stop it. He's like, oh my God, this is going to cost me my job.
Right.
Right?
Didn't want on it being his life. Yeah.
I get that. Listen, one time I was on a ramp with a dolly full of boxes, and I was trying to stop it. Damn thing ripped my shoes off.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get it. I mean, I understand. And yes, I was a noob on the job. I had no business being there. Okay. Well, another Mercedes-Benz vanished. Blame the transporter.
What? It cost $580,000?
But you know what? I guarantee it was paying pennies on the dollar. We're going to get to that. Right? How much was the transporter getting? It's amazing, right? How many Rolls-Royce Ghosts have you seen on the #1 load board paying just shit?
Yep.
All day. And
All
nobody
day.
learns, nobody cares. I'm not here to help solve a problem anymore. I don't care either. I don't even know why we're doing this. How does a 3-ton SUV worth more than $500,000 disappear into thin air? Who cares? By the way, that should... Yeah. Nobody cares.
Multiple transport brokers? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, no, this is the most jacked up... Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Multiple brokers, multiple carriers. You want to read it?
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm having a hissy
How does
fit.
a 3-ton SUV worth more than $500,000 disappear into thin air? That's what Mercedes-Benz Financial Services USA would like to know. According to a report by Automotive News, MBFS is suing multiple transport brokers and carriers for when a Mercedes-AMG G63 that sold for over $580,000 vanished while being transported to its new owner. What's perhaps even more compelling than an extremely valuable SUV going missing is the transparent number of brokers and transportation companies reportedly involved in getting the vehicle transported from the dealership in New York to the customer's home in Nevada. By our count, there were 2 auto brokers and 4 transportation companies that were named as having a role in getting the SUV delivered. What the hell?
Because if you can't pay one company enough, then you can pay multiple companies jack shit. There's no reason for a $580,000 SUV. But you know what? I'm going to make another guess. There were so many fucking over-promises of we'll pick it up at $215 and have it sitting and polished and all this bullshit. Yeah, that's how you got 6 companies in the mix. It's just
and you
stupid.
See, it was picking up in New York, and I hate to say it like this, but New York and New Jersey are where I keep having it try to happen at. Did I tell you? I told you about the one story with that customer. I had the same customer. Someone called and was trying to pick up another vehicle of his. Same exact way, saying, we're picking it up. Can I get the VIN number? Called the dealership and said, can I get the VIN number? I'm picking this up for you at 2 o'clock. And he's like, no, you're not. And I'm not giving you anything. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So tell me they're not getting hacked, right?
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
Asking for the trying to move my
VIN number. And that's the sad part. Is there some people would have been stupid enough to hand it out. It was a brand new Lexus.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. No.
26.
And the clickability scams of like the texting and the email, these guys work day and night to create new scammy
way to get the information.
So you to click on it and you're done. Yeah. No, it's crazy. I found it weird that I was able to get a copy of, here's the VIN number of the missing vehicle. So if anybody sees this VIN number out there.
It's only a 21 and it sold for $580,000.
Well, the income the wealth disparity in this country can't be more overstated anyways. I mean, there's only about, everybody at NADA can afford that thing. Yeah.
That's insane.
That's actually the goal. Can you afford that SUV that was stolen? Come on in. Caviar's over there. We got women in wine glasses. How hackers are taking over carrier computers. I shared this. And my post was, look, no hype needed.
Yeah, this is that one I sent to you. I can't remember from
Yeah,
what broker.
thank you.
I think which one it was.
But rarely can we get just straight info to
No.
do something. It's all got to be integrity. Oh my God, the integrity. Oh God. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. We're going to go into the integrity barf storm here in a minute. I say get to know your ecosystem. And when I try to do, here in this post, I tried to point out how the ecosystem works, like what's really happening. Like, people were deathly afraid to even view this. Like it was like a solar eclipse, because you've got a market-leading load board telling everyone it's fine. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hundreds of brokers saying you can only trust them. Yep. Thousands of dealers assuming anyone can drive a truck.
Yep.
A country of shippers expecting cars delivered next day.
Yep.
And international crime rings doing business as usual.
Yep. Yeah. All that is absolutely
And yet
true.
there are stages and podcasts of companies talking about fraud. I'll bet you nobody fucking says it that way.
No.
Because you can't. It's just too... It's like Aqua Velva. It's too much. I can't do it. I read this article. You know, here's another little Golf Lobster Awards nap time story. Dealers shipping cars nationwide as online sales stall. As you go into it, and here's what's funny. Look at the picture. In this picture, they've got U.S. Auto Dealership, online sales, Run Buggy and Muttway on the side of the building. Because what's happened is, and this is how NADA works. If you have enough money to throw around and pay for caviar and celebrity basketball, whatever, then you can get the dealers on the rooftops. And that's what's happening. The dealers are shipping vehicles farther nationwide because sales are stuck and people are price sensitive. Oh my God, even the rich are price sensitive. That's fucking crazy. So brokers like Run Buggy and Mottway are reporting explosive growth, which, by the way, that's probably true. People are calling in from all over the country. Hey, my dealer just marked up my Escalade another $15,000, and that's going to cut into my yacht fuel. So can I buy one from you at MSRP, and can you just ship it to me in Texas, where I'm unloading into another civilian?
Mm-hmm.
Logistics brokers are riding the wave. Run Buggy says they signed over 300, 400 rooftops, which is great. Man, I love that. Isn't it awesome that Run Buggy is signing over 300 or 400 dealership rooftops? Man, those rates are going to be so good.
Mm-hmm. Consumer hauls, we see
Dealer to consumer hauls. We see a lot of dealers moving cars to consumers. Mottway, 30% annual growth for the past 3 years in dealer orders. And RPM is adding franchise dealers. And here, this is cool. A customer finding a vehicle price for $5,000 less gets a $750 shipping charge, of which we keep like a third.
Yeah.
Right? So, even in this article, this is how much nobody's worried about carriers like reading and writing and learning, because
Not doing drugs.
Yeah, right. It's just, because here it is. It's right here. We're making money hand over fist, yo. And we just posted a flat shipping charge rate. And even sometimes, and I've seen auctions like, we'll do free shipping.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But they just add it into it, yeah.
Yeah, but then they, it's another lowball situation. It's okay, Jay. It's going to be fine. We're the ecosystem's neutral zone. We're just having fun, kids. This guy says, I've worked with Sue before. She's really nice. See, you get nice stuff. You know what I get? I get executive trolls. Here's another one. Yeah. Oh, no, they're all looking at it. They're all looking at my stuff. Nobody talks to me. That's crazy. That crazy guy, Jay. I even just saw a LinkedIn post using my own words. Not the confidence stuff. But I was talking about, I made a post, what they won't tell you at the trade show. Remember we did that?
Right.
Yeah, I just read somebody used, here's what they won't share with you. It's
At the trade show.
Yeah, good stuff. Meanwhile, the geniuses over at this channel, there's no, you can't talk about anything real, so let's do favorite freight towns. Oh my gosh.
Cast your vote.
Who
What
cares?
do you win?
Stop reading. We're just
Oh,
not going to be
wow.
happy until it's all robots. Soak
That's
that in,
funny.
right? Just soak in that image. You don't
That
need
does not
people.
shock me at all.
Those are not dudes in masks. Those are not domestic terrorists. All right, show me the truck. Paul's coming in a minute. This isn't auto transport, but I mean, I think that we are, I know Make America Stupid Again and all that stuff, but I really do think that we are seeing, there's some tough shit happening. Here's one. GM's going to take a $7 billion hit. Oh man, good job, President. Yeah, that shit's not happening. I know nobody wants to criticize the guy. It's funny how much people defend their vote. So you voted for an idiot. Just suck it up. There's going to be more idiots on, We got idiots every 4 years. Here we go, tiny cars. The guy wants tiny cars because nobody has any money. So the genius is like, oh, well, if we have tiny cars, they can afford tiny cars. Dumbass. Gee. Oh, he's flipping off Ford. That's okay. We don't mind. Joe Biden does that too. Sleepy Joe. Midterm elections. Okay, cabotage. Here we go. I got to the political stuff. I did that for, because our fans at NADA just love that political stuff. Federal agents take aim at cabotage.
Janice.
Let's bring in, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in Paul. Paul's like, oh man. Yeah, I know Paul wants to talk about the CDL stuff. Here we go. Here's CDL stuff. Let's bring in Paul. And then we'll continue with, because Paul has, what we're trying to do, here's the premise of this show, is that it's come to my attention that I don't talk about POV carriers enough. And there's truth to that. Because back in the day, when we had a guy in here that was pretending to be part of us, he was trying to push, you want to build a business, not eat off the load board. I thought, well, that's a pretty good idea. I don't think it worked. Actually, I don't think anybody listened to that. So it seemed like it was just, not happening. All right, here we go. Please welcome Paul to the show. And Sue is still working. All right, Paul, can you see me and hear me okay? Because
yes.
All right. He's been watching the show. Paul's been watching the show. We got one. It's like Ghostbusters. We got one. Paul, welcome to the show. Please
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, please tell us who you are and just tell us a little about yourself, please.
Sure. My name is Paul. We are one of the biggest POV carriers, Diesel Auto Express. We've been in business since 2009, and I've gotten to know you, Jay. Actually, I reached out to you. We'll talk about it a bit later. I reached out to you when I had a crisis, and hi, Sue.
Hi.
Uh,
You look
we
familiar. I don't know why, but you look familiar for some reason. And it's not
well,
just because I've talked to you before,
we
but
reached out to you. We had a little crisis with
yeah.
Central Dispatch. So we've been in business for about 16, 17 years now.
Mhm.
And Central Dispatch just decided to shut us off for about 8 days and shut us off for who knows what. We've cleared the situation with the broker. Apparently, a reported car was stolen, but there was no car stolen. And we just couldn't book any orders for about 7, 8 days. The worst part about it is you have a customer service rep who doesn't know what they're necessarily doing, but they say, hey, someone will call you back, someone will call you back, someone will call you back. I'm like, are you guys effing kidding me? I've been a loyal paying customer for 15 years, and you're just going to shut me off like that without even speaking to the owner or kind of getting any clarity, and obviously we have trucks to book and drivers are waiting for loads, and it's like, okay, this is why so much carriers are migrating to Super and other platforms.
Mhm.
So
Man,
thanks to you, thanks to Jay, some of the contacts we have in our system, we were able to expedite it after just getting a runaround from them. It was complete ridiculous, but
and
we,
I want to say this is tough stuff. This is.
Mhm.
I mean,
yeah,
I know somebody's going to watch this back and create glossy photos and a mock trial. But the thing is that this is true.
it is.
This really happened.
Mhm.
Paul contacted me telling me this, and I'm like, holy crap. I mean, can you imagine? And it's not even real. The cars, I said, Paul, is the car stolen? And he's like, no, we delivered it. I'm like, well, what?
Yeah.
I know Christy Nome operates on bullshit information, but I didn't know you could lose your trucking account for several days. That cost you, how much money did that cost you?
Probably close to $100,000 in bookings.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
It's
what, those are, dude, now that sounds like verifiable damages. And as we all know, if you've got damages, you are on the verge of some paperwork. So,
Yeah.
something to think about. You're lucky you don't
it-
take action.
the craziest part is they'll allow all these scammers to be on it, and after so many reports, and then it's like, dude, I have 60 trucks. We we use Central quite a lot, to be honest with you. Thank God we opened up our brokerage. We can talk about that later, but we do use Central Dispatch,
Well,
and
and everybody
everybody.
does that, and that's their ace in the hole. That's
Yeah.
why they can say whatever they want, talk about integrity and all this stuff. We're going to get to the super dispatch stuff here in a minute too.
I've heard some news. Yeah, I'd like to know more.
There is a little bit of news. Uh okay, so we got that lead in, and so hey, okay, we were talking about that. Let's talk about POV. Paul,
Hmm.
what's POV?
Personal owned vehicles.
All right, and many carriers, small, mid-size owner operators, small fleets, are
Hmm.
hauling personally owned vehicles.
Correct. I think two thirds of Central Dispatch customers are POV
That's a
carriers.
lot.
I
Okay,
agree.
so
I'm
that's
talking about from the carrier side, two-thirds of the carriers are POV carriers.
Yeah.
And it was funny, why you wanted to bring me on is because I kept complaining there's not enough representation on the POV side. A lot of my friends, a lot of my colleagues have always said, "Oh yeah, I know that Jay guy, but all he talks about is the new car haulers, this and that. No one really talks about us. You got a couple of YouTube drivers and this and that. They talk about how much money they make off a weekly trip or whatever it is, but there's not an official representation or a channel where we can connect. We can talk about our issues. We can talk about the needs, the wants, the whatever. We go to AHA every year to pick up our trucks, or I went to the finished vehicle logistics, and it's all these guys who are like, oh yeah, we have a contract with this. We work with this guy, sub for this guy, sub for this, and then it's like, well, the POV carriers are like, dude, we got no one to connect with, you know what I mean? And it's just there needs to be an association, there needs to be something along those lines where we can connect, we can collaborate, we can talk about who to go to loans, who to go to insurance companies, who to go for maintenance routines, for the next CRM app, all of that stuff.
and I told you that, and there's some good stuff in there. I have many things to say, but I told you I want to get this in. Is that one of the big wigs will swoop in now and say we're the owner operator blah blah,
Yeah.
but no, it's true. So anybody listening, Finished Vehicle Logistics, it's a great show, but it is expensive.
Yeah.
Ain't no owner operator able to afford. No way, dude. And an owner operator probably could afford to go to auto haulers, but yeah, I don't even know what they do.
I've brought this up many times before. Less focus on the panels, more focus on the carrier collaboration. I know half of the customers that even don't go to the panels. They just there because their friends are there, and it's just like an auto hauler's vacation. Um, but
Auto Haulers Vacation Association. And I
yeah,
listen, and I think most of the trade shows have turned into this. You know, they now have golf at the Repo Association meeting, which, by the
well,
way, I'm just going to tell you, because you guys wouldn't know this, the Repo gang, they've sold out too, man. What happens is all these trade shows, they need money to keep going. So they just turn it into a golf party. I don't even know what they're for anymore. Like finished vehicle logistics, I've sat in those panels. Oh golly, yuck, man. And I've been seeing some of the NADA panels. Oh, I don't want to offend people, but some of the really stupid. I'm just going to say one. AI 101. AI 101? Do you work for Google? How are you teaching AI 101? Oh my God. But having said that, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for anything. But as a viewer said, Jay doesn't, cover the POV gang. Really? What do I do? Nothing? But
well,
I'm okay with the feedback. But
right.
Paul, what can I do to fix it?
Well, you need to bring up conversations like this because then a lot more people, believe it or not, I did one show with you and people still reach out and they say, "Hey, I've seen you on a show. It was about a software demo and this and that." But people will, first of all, be more inclined to come and talk or to come and give feedback. And obviously, everything we do or everything you do, the first time it's going to be a test trial, second time it's going to get better and better and better and better. I do think we need some kind of association or official representation, whether that's a YouTube live show, or maybe it'll turn into something else.
That's what I tried to do. I mean, I've been doing this show for years.
Yeah.
And well, I Trump does so much bragging that I just feel stupid when I even get near bragging. But I do want to say this is that nobody's really done what I've done, and yet the auto industry completely ignores what I do. And I
Hmm.
can live with that because I don't have the caviar to keep up. But the carriers ignoring this channel, holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, they got almost nobody on their side. Now I know that there's the carrier vetting is like making headway, but even that has its problems too. But it's not a Jay rant. And one carrier is going to say, Jay, you don't listen enough. Let him talk, right?
Right.
I got issues. Hey, let's talk about some CDL stuff. Let's go back into some news, okay?
Hmm.
Because I know you've got some helpful opinions. You've got inside knowledge. Like here's one. I know you want to. We also non-domicile drivers. I think that's coming up. But like CDL purge. I mean, what are your thoughts on CDL purging and stuff?
Well, I'll tell you what, and I'll tell you what, when the non-domicile drivers first came in, they were a huge boost to the economy. To even we've had some drivers too, uh, but it's going around where sometimes it's becoming a bad hire or this and that, and I really think that. It's in a way sometimes biting us back in the butt, you know what I mean? And I've heard that from a lot of different owners, and if they come in, they're great, they comply, but then they get too picky, then they want too many things. Now, granted, a lot of them are still faithful. They're still good. They're great drivers. They're qualified. They're this, they're that. But the tide has turned, and I'm not sure whether it's because of Trump or because of ICE or because everyone gets too comfortable, which happens too. But I mean, I think it boils down to what procedures and how you hire, and just kind of being transparent with the drivers and then working with them, because at the end of the day you want to help the best ones, and then you have to with the ones that are questionable, you have to be like, hey, this is how we do things. If you're not going to follow, you can find another job, because we don't see eye to eye. And my integrity, the way we run our business, is more important than me doing all these favors for you. And if I do these favors for you, I have to do these favors to everybody else, and I'm not going to do that you know so they kind of just come and go on their own. But we work with a lot of the good drivers. We get them reestablished, whether it's their work visas or just work with the local agencies and the government and whatnot. So the good ones we work with, because they're good to us, we're good to them. It's a two-way street, right? It takes two to tango. The bad ones, we just say, hey, look, if you're going to keep doing this, just find another job. There's plenty of great other opportunities to work, other companies to work for. So,
And I want to say this: non-domicile drivers. So does that mean immigrants from other countries that are here legally and have a CDL?
mm-hmm.
I mean, right? Because it's kind of a strange phrase, non-domicile drivers. A little strange.
I've never heard of it before Trump announced it, but I just kind of knew they were by programs, whether they're from Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, or other
Right.
locations.
But
Uh,
and it's also been I think that again, everything is so political. That's why I don't shy away from it anymore. I just call it like it is. And just this headline, oh well, it's California and it's illegals, and it's I think it's a political slant on something that doesn't need to be so damn political. But I agree with you too. It bites you in the butt. And here's one for you. Here's another one that could bite us in the butt. They keep wanting young drivers to join the workforce. Well, they may not be ready. But
yeah.
that's just it's a prediction. Broker rules taking effect. Here's another good one. And this gets into, Paul, you and I talked about how about this? Should an owner-operator POV carrier also set up their own brokerage?
Absolutely. That's something I've believed in for about 10 years. Profit margins are low, especially in the carrier market. And all the carriers, they need to take care of their customers. The first thing I've been telling every carrier to do is open up your brokerage. If they need help, I can help you with that, but I can refer you to a lot of great specialty people. But every carrier needs multiple income streams from the carrier side and the brokerage side. So yes, by all means, do everything you can to become a broker. Even if you create your authority and you're still small, still be a broker, because maybe down the road you'll have 3, 5, 10, 15 trucks, but you'll also be just slowly but surely you'll gain a clientele, and you'll still take care of your customers. And next thing you know it, you're going to take care of 2, 3, 4, 500 customers a month.
Right. And so I think one of the things too is to make sure that when you set up your brokerage, you set up a second company. Is that right? I think Brian used to talk about that.
I think so. We've
That
had
way
some
you're, yeah.
just talk to your insurance adjuster. A lot of insurance agencies look at, well, it's too much of a risk if the carrier is a broker and a carrier, so you might kind of separate those two.
Yeah, I
So
think you
we've
do.
been working back and forth on those. A lot of the contracts don't allow you to sign up if you're a carrier. So you just kind of have to work with all the OEMs and your insurance adjuster. But it's a huge risk when you're putting everything under one company. So you can probably separate that.
Okay, you just mentioned OEMs. I wanted to also talk a little bit about, okay, this is owner-operator, car hauler, and dispatcher meat on the bone section. It only took them 35 minutes to talk about stuff we wanted to talk about. What are some marketplace trends? And I don't mean today, this week, because the ice in Texas, but overall, how are things going? Because again, the NADA brokers are like, it's amazing, everybody's rich. What's really happening? Sue and Paul.
Sue, I'll let you go first.
Repeat it to me because I had a question asked to me while we were doing that.
What's the market really like? It's 2026 now, but 2025 counts. And we know that 10 years ago, even 10 years ago, man, things were way better than they are now. When I say that, what do I mean? What's going on?
You're talking about rates, is that what you're saying?
Rates, volume, brokers, hassle, bullshit.
Well, I mean, the
pricing.
hassle is high. I mean, way up there. I mean, but here's my thing. I get it because I'm on both sides of the coin here. I'm a dispatcher and a broker, and you do have to jump through hoops, whether you're one or the other, because you never know if that person's going to steal a vehicle. And it's very hard to trust new companies. Like, I've got a new one that has, what I tell you, 4 ratings, right, Janice? Or no, 0 ratings. 0 ratings. He's asking for a car right now. And so I always ask, the usual questions and stuff like that. And I usually give newbies a chance, but I also require certain things like the cert from the agent and pictures of your equipment and that kind of thing. And I don't know if everybody remembers back in the day, you never even asked any of this stuff. You knew your car was going to get picked up and go to the right place. This started happening, COVID time, right? That's when we were on the show doing a show, and I had a car stolen right then and there while we were doing the show. And that's been, 5 years ago now? So it has gone downhill for sure. We were just talking about one of my clients up in New Jersey. Every time I list a car for him, someone tries to call and steal the car. And it's because they're brand new Lexuses. We'll go there with that. But that's beside the point. It is a regular thing. So I get both sides of that part of it. And it's nothing we used to deal with like we deal with it now. It's a regular daily thing that we have to backtrack, make sure the person is, like, literally now I'm like, you send me your ID of the driver that's picking this up, because I'm sending it to who you're picking it up from to verify you are who you say you are. Because I don't know, did I tell you this? Like about a month ago, I had dispatched it to a company. There's another load board out there. They dispatched it to another company. So it was double, triple brokered.
Hey, it's just like that news article.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just exactly like that. And I wouldn't have even known, except for the fact that this guy he's a football player and thinks his shit don't stink. But anyways, he wasn't there to get his car. So they were pissed and they took the car, right? So that's how we ended up finding out it had gone through multiple people, and come to find out the transporter that actually did it, I knew him. They'd hauled for me. He knew who I was at least, so they all trusted us by the time we went through it all. But this other transporter that was playing broker went through another way of going around everything to try to steal money. It wasn't about stealing the vehicle. It was about stealing the money.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, it's all a big game sometimes with this stuff. So if we're going to talk about that, that's one thing. Also, like being able to haul for people anymore. You've got to be in business for 6 months to a year before they even let you haul for most of the big companies. I mean, that's just straight up across the board. I'm getting told by companies that I've hauled for years, if I bring a new driver in, sorry, it's a year. Sorry, it's 2 years. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Unless they know me and I've worked with them a lot, then they know who I am. But that doesn't happen. There's so many new brokers out there now, and not always legit, as we talk about that all the time too. There's lots of those that are not legit. They're on the board, they're selling loads, and they never even had the loads, and they're stealing the money. So who can you trust, right? That's the problem. It's on both sides of the coin when it comes to trust. There's not a lot of trust left in this industry, and that irritates me because I've been doing this for,
oh my God, nobody trusts anybody.
I know. This is 20-some years, and we're like, from what I used to be doing to now is such a huge difference. Rates, I would tell you rates are about what they always are. It goes from crappy to good. So it's like, you just, in certain times of the year, You have really good rates. Right now, we've got high rates because why? We had a huge snowstorm. Nobody could move. Now they got to get them moved. They're bulked up again. So now the rates are high right now, but they're going to drop right back down after we get through this season. And then we're going to go through a period until about, when does it usually stop? We'll get some good rates till about June, July, and
Right.
then it's going to start
May.
going downhill
Yeah.
again. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a cyclical thing. We deal with it every year. I'm used to it. And it doesn't seem to matter about your reputation. The rating system that they are basing everything off of is lame because none of them are legit. I don't care what they say about how you can't give fake ratings to people. Bullshit. Yes, you can. Straight up, yes, you can.
Um, that's good stuff. We're gonna hand to Paul in a second. So what I want to ask you about? What about all the? Now there's so much more technology than there was 10 years ago. Between the
Right.
vetting technology or like everybody's got a mobile app. What's going on there?
Everybody's got a mobile app. Nobody wants to use everybody's mobile app. That will never change. You know that as well as I do. These drivers don't want to deal with all that crap. Now, Central has their own mobile app. So that's to get you away from using SD. Um, I mean, honestly, I still
Do your drivers
would
use
rather
that? I
use
still don't have any feedback. Does
I
anybody use it?
I don't make any of my
They don't
drivers
even
use it.
really
And
promote it. I don't see
no,
any. I
and
don't know. It's weird.
well, when you get a load, sometimes you check this box, and when they send you the load and it says you must use CD, okay? So I automatically contact them. I'm like, is it okay if we use SD? Yep, that's fine. Okay, so they're trying to get people to use it, but still not
Totally.
happening. On
It's
top
so
of it, you
funny.
have newbies out
But
there that don't even
they
realize
don't.
you're supposed to do a bill of
You
lading.
know what? They don't.
Period.
They don't really care if you
No,
use it or not, because that
I
doesn't
I
affect
think it's
the dealer paying the monthly
no,
subscription. Who cares,
no, right?
right? Because that's what
And eventually,
matters.
they're going to charge for it eventually. This is just a gimme for right now.
I
It's going to go
totally
up.
agree with you. Totally agree with you.
This is a way to hurt SD. That's the way I look at it.
I. It's hard to disagree with. You won't see that in advertising anywhere either. All right, Paul. So you heard some of what Sue said. What would you add to that?
Well, from a broker's perspective, Sue, we use my carrier packet
Hmm.
and vet all the carriers. On
Yeah.
top of that, we will these scammers they're getting very clever, and you always have to be a step ahead.
Hmm.
What we'll do is we will only contact the insurance agency
Hmm.
and have them send us a PDF. And then our dispatchers will reach out to the insurance agency to
Verify.
confirm that this vehicle, this driver, and this VIN number or the unit number is actually insured.
Right.
On top of that, there is a couple of other steps that we'll take, which is sometimes these scammers, they're going into the carrier portals,
Mhm.
like they've tried to do it with us, and they'll go contact regular brokers and they'll get cars under our accounts and we stop them right away.
Right.
But what we'll do on our brokerage side is if there's a new driver or a new dispatcher or a new telephone or email,
Yep.
anything suspicious,
Yep.
our system won't allow that unit to be dispatched until the owner of the company verifies that these new dispatcher, this driver actually works for them. So there's a lot of like verifications and a lot of extra
Yes.
hoops and loops that we all have to go through. But that's
So,
the
what do you think about this new thing on Central? If something gets changed and you go to dispatch it and it says there's pertinent information that's been changed, basically, don't trust this company. How do you feel about that?
Uh, I have my mixed emotions, but now
Yeah.
we have a direct line or apparently on the enterprise account for central dispatch.
Hmm.
So we've been talking with them
Hmm.
here and there, and they've acknowledged they're making mistakes, they're doing this, but we're on full effect to actually rebuild the integrity and trust of central dispatch. What that actually means, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because
But
trust me, for 2 years I was doing the same thing you were doing and nothing changed.
yeah,
So that
we'll
there's
see. I
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
This is the first time I see that This is the first time I hear they have an enterprise account staff or
Mm,
Yeah, I've
representation.
never
I'll have
heard
my
that
own account
before.
manager. That's crazy.
Enterprise.
But I'm
yeah.
like, y'all cost me 100 grand to get me an account manager. Where was
Yeah.
she before where I could contact and be like, what the flip is going on?
Right.
Um,
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
We'll see. But to add to the OEM market, I mean, prices are kind of here and there. For the most part, they stay the same, but I do realize a trend. It's no longer the big OEMs are no longer about their carrier trucks. It's all about subbing it out, and that's how everybody makes the money. Unfortunately, that's how it is. And you got all these buyouts, these venture capitalists, but they know the money is in the subhauling. That's
Mhm.
the clean profits. That's the zero liability. That's getting that salesperson, a veteran salesperson, to go to that OEM meeting to get on that spot buy and just they know 60, 80% of that is going to be dispatched out to the subs.
Yep. Not the
But we'll
overhead.
see. We'll see. On the other hand, I do see a lot of bids prices actually increasing due to the non-domicile drivers. So we don't have those wedgers, three-car holders anymore. They're kind of disappeared. Um, all these European dispatch companies, or from India or wherever they're from, they're kind of slowly disappearing or getting into the nine-car hauler trucks. It's almost like no one's wanting to dispatch the three-car haul wedgers anymore. But they're also getting worried because ICE is cleaning all of them up or they're getting their shit in order, you know? But
Right.
we'll see where that trend happens because when we used to see wedgers on the road by tens and dozens of them, we barely see them now. So
Really? That's weird. That's what
Wow.
most of
Yeah.
my clientele are wedgers.
Right.
really,
So,
Well,
yeah.
and there's going to
Always
be
has been.
different trends that people see, so that's really interesting.
yeah. Me and my brothers, obviously, we talk to a lot of people and you know, a lot of offices are going through a restructuring because they can no longer dispatch these guys or this and that. And these wedgers are looking for nine-car hauling jobs only because they want to be considered legit. A lot of the drivers, for the most part, are good, the non-domicile drivers. But there is becoming a trend of, hey, we're not using three-car wedgers anymore.
And by the way, yeah, I'm going to add this in that this is, race is so hard to talk about now. But or country of origin or whatever. But this is not a racial judgment, but rather just an observation of what's happening in today's, with ICE, cracking down on, school teachers
Hmm.
and store clerks and, punching people in the face and wiping out, disabled trucks. Oh, well, they didn't do that yet? Oh, sorry. Got ahead of myself. But I know that there is more news. What if I'm right? What if I'm the Simpsons? Okay. Uh, we have seen, we've seen, we're going to continue to see these authentication rollouts,
Mhm.
and, the zero ratings are there more zero ratings companies than there were before? I don't remember you
Yes.
saying that before. Why
Yes.
is that?
Well, for one, it's really hard to get a rating anymore. I'll be honest. I mean, you, how long has Biscuit been in business? For over almost 2 years. Nobody likes to give out ratings anymore.
You got to beg for ratings. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember begging for ratings, but we
Yes.
could get them.
Yeah. No, it's really hard. And if you go to SD, it's even harder to get them there.
Uh-oh.
And they expect you to have so many ratings on SD to give you a load too, even though you're verified. That's how they do it. But, it is what it is. I guess we're just got to keep dealing with what we're dealing with.
Here's a great post. Highway is screwing small carriers again. Highway requires carriers to. I'm reading an article. I'm reading it. Highway requires carriers to connect their ELD to their online website.
Yep.
And we use an ELD, but it's not connected online. So now we have to go around and around with Highway to get connected to brokers who want to book loads with us, who already have used us in the past. And we've lost loads because of this. Opinions?
Is this containing to car shipping or freight?
Well,
This is car
good
shipping. Well,
question.
I use highway.
Both.
I mean,
It is
Metro uses
both.
highway.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I
mean,
knew a
there's several
service
big
did,
brokers
yeah.
that use highway to verify.
And I don't think it's just highway. It's
No.
any.
There's another one.
They're all going super connected. Robot
Mhm.
Terminator,
Right.
and it's
Like
again
RMIS
for
is
the
highway now or something like that.
right there you go. And for the solo owner operator, I mean this is this freaking tech squeeze. Is the solo owner operator? They can't do all this stuff.
I agree with Paul. They're trying to weed out the smaller carriers because of this stuff. And I don't think it's fair because not all these 9-cars are going to pick up these single units. You know that, and I know you know. And on top of it, when they put a multi-pack load on there, 30 cents? Really? Some of them are even less than that.
I know. And
I saw some the other day were 19 cents.
And the caviar brokers do this with a straight face.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's always, I mean, we know that's always been the way it's been, but
yeah,
that's beside the point.
I am curious to know what percentage of the carriers don't actually have proper insurance.
I agree with you on that.
I think with these wedgers, with all of these magnet companies that put the magnet signs on the truckers.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
and then they switch them out when they crash. We saw that.
Yeah. I've heard so many horror stories where they'll take a non-domicile driver or some kind of a driver, they'll open a company for them, but next thing you know, they'll put a lot of drivers under that company, and they'll put all the risk under that guy, and then they'll switch them out to the next guy after they, it's crazy. There's too many crazy stories. But
meet you at truck stop to get magnet sign.
Jay, it's even better when it's a piece of paper stuck in their window. Right. Okay.
I do not have magnets. Got paper though.
Yeah.
That happens all the time, especially when they send me a picture of it like that, and I'm like, I can't do this. You could be anybody, and they act like it's no big deal to have it taped in their window.
That's right. It is not a big deal. So welcome to Auto Transport. All right, so we got 10 minutes left. Paul, we're going to keep you till the end of the show, okay?
Good.
All right.
Is this new?
Well.
What is this?
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? There's been such little news about this that any news still feels like the first time. It's like a Boston song. Or whoever that was. The deal is, because I've read the lawsuit, both the original and now the injunction, and they have until March 3rd. Is it 19th? Crap. It's in March when they have to comply. And you can, and they posted this. Oh, March 3rd. This is the March 3rd, March 19th. They did post that they are going to no longer have the button. And the reason they're taking the button off is that now they can provide a more consistent experience. Wrap your head around that explanation. And the other one is that it's difficult to support. It's just, the blue color is hard to maintain. The box of the button it's tricky. I know.
Just so everybody knows, you do not have to have that import button.
Exactly. And they had to put a post out that, here's how you do the PDF shuffle.
Yes.
Yeah. And, the reason I'm such an a-hole about all these things is because we're still celebrating people for living another year and all that. It's just so stupid what I read daily out of this industry that I have to counteract the stupidity. So, let's get into the letter. And by the way, I looked it up. What is the difference between these two? And even Google, well, they're both major players, but here's some differences. CD is a vast marketplace. SD is an integrated suite. Oh, now Google's going to get fucking sued. SD is an independent company not owned by a broker, positioning itself as a neutral partner. Ooh. SD emphasizes mobile first pay approach. All right. So, anyways, what I do want. Oh, let me point this out too. Is now they're saying they're in the strongest position they've ever been, and they posted this. Or no, the email. This was an email. And that 2026 is going to be bigger and better than ever before. Are you fucking serious? Please. Just would somebody say something truthful just for once? I want to go. Here's what I want to do. It's driving. I mean, I'm losing my mind reading this auto industry nonsense. And then here we go. Now we have got a speech about integrity. Oh, for God's sakes. Just share the information. It should say, we squashed them. Forget the integrity crap. We squashed them. And here's what we did, right? In the injunction, they have to stop offering the extension. Offering products to post loads. Oh, yeah, right? No cross-posting?
Well, they haven't been doing that, but anyway.
See, I didn't think so either.
No. They took that away, I think, when this all first came about, but... Well,
because nobody follows any actual news in industry logistics, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Well, true.
You might even... I just spout off on integrity. You don't even need a list of actual facts.
Obtaining, what is that? Blogging.
Okay, so this was in the lawsuit. They maintain, and they did it creatively, is that by allowing a customer to be integrated into, because remember they were,
yeah.
Number 2 was saying to customers, if you're on number 1, come to us, and you can keep your number 1 info, and that's where they got into like confidential information. And again, it was creative lawyering and it worked.
Right.
Because
interesting.
Was number 2 really like terrorizing their customer? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares? And this one too. This is also very creative. All companies use ratings, pricing data from each other, to each other, at each other. So this is just, the nuts on the Sunday. I think they actually had an internal meeting called Nuts on the Sunday. Using unauthorized automate. Oh, yeah, here we go. To scrape data. Again, you know what? There are global dudes scraping your data. You got a lot of people to sue.
Yeah.
This one too. Oh yeah, because see, number 2, this is what happens with the ego. Is then they got to where they were saying stuff that was like, what? I don't know if I'd print that. You can blog about all kinds of. There's many dogs to blog about. And then falsifying, and you know what? It really, and we learned something about number 1. Boy, oh boy, do they hate competitive false advertising. Because this really burns up their integrity speech. Boy, man, they really should, yeah, okay. Anyways, this was a thing. You can read about it. You can go to, and I want to say something. I like some of these individuals. I hate having to do this. I've met Lainey. She's very nice. Is she duct taped to her desk parts of the day? Maybe. I don't like it either. These many individuals are very nice. They've actually, people been on the show and interacted with us. So I hate it too. It sucks. Last thing I want to point out is that now there's VIN cloning. VIN cloning is a thing. A woman in North Carolina bought a used car from CarMax. Police told her it was stolen. It was cloned. So, we're never going to get ahead of this tech whack-a-mole.
No.
Which is why we need to stop celebrating another year of being alive and how super amazing and the caviar. I know no one's going to do it. But I do think this, because I know people are watching quietly under their desk in a closet. No likes, nothing like that. But I encourage people at NADA, when you're hungover on caviar and you got nothing else to talk about except maybe a little bit of truth, think about some of the stuff we're talking about here. Paul, I want to bring you back on another future show because I like what we're doing, and I agree with you that there's a lot of POV owner-operator stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
Paul, Sue, how would we end this show? What are some final thoughts? Here we go. Final thoughts. Paul, final thoughts.
Well, the POV marketplace is probably going to watch our show. And they're going to be spamming my phone calls and whether they agree with my opinions or not. But you know what? I'm going to have a lot of feedback for you, Jay. We're going to have a lot more important discussions. I know a lot of big carriers out there. There's going to be a lot more things that we're going to want to put out in the mainstream. We're going to continue to be in contact with Central Dispatch. We're going to continue to protect our carriers and our customers. I think one thing I want to add, I think we're going into the license plate and the driver ID authorization, kind of what Uber does. They created a customer app where you can only be, here's your license plate that the driver's coming through.
Right.
And someone's going to create an app for the customer side, and it's going to say, hey, only release to this license plate and this driver. And that's probably going to be the end of the scamming part. I don't see any other way out. But there's a lot of great topics to discuss about the OEM marketplace, the POV marketplace, the remarketing side. It's going to be a good time. It's a good time to be alive.
That was very insightful, that tech idea. I don't think you just came up with that.
No, I've had somebody already tell me they're talking about doing it too. So I think it's
we're doing it for our customers, and
yeah,
exactly.
Or they give them a secret code. I've had the secret code thing too.
We're already rolling out a release, and we're doing that to our customers. Where hey, only release it to this VIN number and this driver. That way, if anything happens, the dealership's at fault because we sent you an official email or a release to only release it to this driver license and this license plate.
You know
both
what?
That's why we need double verification and also do two-factor authentication on everything you do.
That's the only way I do it too.
Yeah.
Just like that.
So, and I wrote this down, insurance company on speed dial. With all these things, how do you manage to do all these things quickly?
Right.
I don't understand that at all.
How long does it take
could
for you
take
to
me 2
dispatch a
hours to
car?
get a certificate of insurance. I have literally called insurance companies and they were like, yeah, everybody's at lunch.
Yeah.
Okay. What are they eating? Can I
the
get some?
insurance companies say, the ones that say we'll get it to you in 24 to 48 hours. There's several insurance companies like that too, because they don't care.
Can you still go on and print your own progressive cert?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Sounds like a scam.
There's another one too called Certs Now that does the same thing.
Certs Now. Nice. That's a great idea.
There's another one that another guy of mine has. I can't remember the name of it.
Do you add the specific drivers and the equipment to the cert?
I make sure they're on that cert. If they're not on that cert, then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't use what you guys use. I'm a little broker.
You know, that's interesting. See, 10 years ago, you could fudge that equipment stuff.
Oh, they did fudge it. What are you talking about?
Exactly. What do you mean you can? And now, I mean, that is gospel now.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a wrong digit on the VIN. Can't pick up the car.
Yep. Or if it's additional insured, it better be in the right spot on the form, that kind of thing. That's a regular thing too.
Well, ChatGPT can alter anything you want in 2 seconds. That's why you got to get it from the agent.
Yep.
You got to get it from the
agent. Now you're giving more ideas, damn it, Paul.
ChatGPT. Really? Let's just change the price.
But you're right.
Let's change the COD. right? Oh
There's
crap!
that
Oh crap!
too.
Awesome. This was awesome, Paul. This is Paul's idea. POV carrier struggle. That was the show. So, Paul, I would need your help. Let's come up with another great angle on the POV carrier owner operator, you know, as a part of this series. It's 2026. Everybody else is celebrating, you know, brand new day and resolution. Let's try something new.
Well, we could talk about streamlining the POV business
Ooh.
because there's 20 different apps that everybody uses, and we need to talk about collaboration. We need to talk about from safety to maintenance to shop,
Ooh.
driver,
Streamlining
improvement.
POV. That is good.
That would be nice. We've tried to get them to streamline. Everybody thinks that their
You
app is
got
better
you
than the
got
other
safety,
app.
you got compliance, you got accounting, you got driver recruiting, you got the brokerage side, you got the EOD mandates, the driver expired, the profile, the health, everything, the driver package.
Yeah.
It's so much to an auto transport business. So
I
I got
love
some
that.
good ideas that we've implemented in our company. We can share that on the next podcast.
So, can we do streamlining POV on, I would say, February 19th? What do you think? February 19th.
That works for me.
Really? Sue?
That's fine with me.
Feb 19th, streamlining POV. That's so cool. And we do have a show on the 12th. We've got somebody had messaged me a while back, and they wanted to pop in and say hello. So we're going to do that on the 12th. And it's another tech product.
Okay.
One of the things that, you know, and is it Paul talking to you has been helpful because I know we've talked about tech, but you see over time, I've kind of been drawn towards the tech, and maybe that's how I took my eye off the POV owner operator. Dag nabbers. Which is funny. I can't stop thinking about this company that they say they're the best in tech and the best in owner operators, but I don't know what happened to them.
Can you share who that is?
Can you guess who it is? Sue knows who it is. This company, you know, I may as well. I slammed the bus into so many people now, and we've clearly slammed it into number one. So let's slam it into number two. And that is that, you know, these guys 10 years ago, it was very fresh and very hands-on, and like all other businesses, over time became more of a curmudgeon than a best friend.
Yep.
And at this point, I don't think anybody even really knows, other than some of the things we see, you know, that there's a blog. And you know, personally, I'm a little chipped off because I already had a little bit of beef. But then they said 5 years ago that they were doing something for the very first time, creating an auto transport industry video. You know, I'm like, hey, I'm over here. So, you know, now one could say that's a bit of a copycat. But we live in an industry of copycats. And what's happened is none of the businesses, the caviar brokers, really worry about appealing to the people. It's all about appealing to the dealer. Mm-hmm. As long as you get the dealer paying attention, that's all that freaking matters. So I do hope some dealers tune in and listen to this and go, is that right? Could that be true? And they question reality and they start thinking about Sleepy Joe Biden. Perfect way to end it. So I'll see you all on the 19th. Okay. Sue, I'll see you again on the 12th. Paul, we'll see you on the 19th. Please jot down some subtopics and bullets, but you're on a roll. Make a note of some of what you just said. I will also try to do the same. For anybody tuning in, thank you for doing that. Sorry that we had to put you through the, you know, ATI paces again. So irritating. Thanks for watching. What
All
do
right,
we say,
guys.
office? All right,
Goodbye,
Paul's with
Sue.
us. So, Paul, you go, goodbye, Sue. Goodbye,
Bye,
Sue.
Sue.
See
you
you
guys.
later. Take care. All
All
right.
right, take care,
Peace
guys.
out. Thanks. All right, bye. And I got to hit a button here.